Josh and Jamie Harford, and we've been attending since just before everything exploded with COVID.
My name is Tim Chang, and this is my wife Tina, and we've been coming to Waypoint for almost 7 years now.
My name is Kelly Haywood, and I have been a member of Waypoint for 5 years.
Name is Ben Youthy. My family and I have been going to Waypoint for about 18 months now.
We believe that we're called to give to God's kingdom, and the church is part of that. And so we want to support the church in that way.
One of the premier teachings in Scripture is that our time, our energy, our effort, our money are for the glory of God. That is their purpose. And so when we give, we are living out a statement that we are here to glorify God. And our finances are just one of many tools for that. That is not the end goal, is not our wealth or our accumulation, but the purpose for what it's used for.
We give because our hearts need it. It reminds us that the money doesn't belong to us, it belongs to God, and rather we're stewards of it. Fights against my heart's tendency to look to money and to wealth as a source of security and comfort rather than relying on God alone. Giving reminds us that the earth is not our home, ultimately. Jesus says that through giving, we can store up treasures in heaven, which will never fail. And it's not affected by moths or thieves, and in our current day, not affected by inflation or the stock market trends. It helps us to rely on God.
A big part of our giving is to Waypoint because, firstly, we want to support the pastors and the staff here. We want to support the ministries of the church, including the children's ministry, the youth, men's and women's ministry, and even just the ability to use the facilities on Sundays and throughout the week. Church designates 20% of their general tithes and offerings to missions, and so whether that be local missions through campus ministries, international student ministries, refugee ministries, or just supporting families, children in the community who are in need. We love the people and the ministry of the church, and also the mission of the church.
Many times I feel like we're praying or asking God to give us ministry opportunities, ways to bless people around us. And those are just very intangible requests, but money is one of the few things where we have an active hand in saying, I'm going to choose to give this, and I'm going to trust that our church and that God is going to use that and put a return on that investment.
Not allowing money to be an idol. In order to do that, sometimes you just have to have that idol taken away in order to see that we actually do rely on God instead of our things or our money or our wealth.
I guess it's always been just like the first thing we do. So it's like we set aside it first, and then the rest is like, okay, how can we make it work? God has always been faithful. It's been a joy to be able to see God's work through the people and the ministries that we've been able to give to. He doesn't need us to give. He created, He owns everything, but He allows us to be a part of that work and to be a vessel of His blessing to others.
I'm on staff with CREW, or Campus Crusade for Christ, at UNC Chapel Hill.
I work for a college ministry called Campus Outreach, but primarily I do evangelism and discipleship on UNC's campus. We try and just build friendships with students who aren't Christians and seek to do life with them, eat meals with them, play sports with them, connect with them, and hopefully introduce them to Christ. And for students who already, come from a background of faith, we hope to mature them in their faith, help them to, make their faith their own. Now, if they're out of mom and dad's house or whatever, we want to meet them at this time and say, hey, let's equip you to be able to make disciples for the rest of your life.
Gabby, Ashley, and Allison are 3 girls who just graduated from UNC and are spending a year in Prague, Czech Republic. Through CREW, developed a heart for the most unchurched parts of the world. And after college, they said, we want to go there. We want to be there where people don't have a church on every corner. Beyond that, we have over 40 student leaders at UNC right now that have said, yeah, we don't want to just spend college growing academically only. We want to give our years in college to invest in other people, to make disciples, and to be a part of the Great Commission right here in Chapel Hill.
Our whole income is coming from raising support, which can feel daunting, it can feel overwhelming. Danny and others said, hey, we want to support you guys. I don't even think I initiated that conversation. They initiated it to us. From a church standpoint, you feel believed in, you feel cared for, you feel just validated in the sense of like, hey, what you're doing matters, and we're going to show you that with some real, dollars. They care about my family and the work we're doing with Camp Sour.
It's hard to fully express how grateful I am for the support of Waypoint Church. To know that it's not just me walking on the campus with this individual vision for ministry, but it is us together in partnership seeking to move the gospel forward at UNC Chapel Hill. I think on the days when I'm discouraged, it's your giving, it's your prayers, and it's your faith that I really rely on.
Waypoint is very generous, so I think about Philippians 4, not that I seek the gift, but I seek the fruit that increases to their credit. And I think about that with Waypoint. You can be a member at Waypoint and work in an accounting job 100 hours a week and confidently say you are making disciples on UNC's campus. You are building laborers on UNC's campus because you give to Waypoint. And there's a lot of other cool and encouraging ministries that you can say that for.
We get to see others' joy when they receive, and that we get to see God's love in their face when they receive financial support when they need it through supporting the church and through supporting God's kingdom.